Alright, let's talk about one of the wildest stories in gaming history, Too Human. If you've ever seen this game pop up in a What Went Wrong list, there's a good reason. Too Human dropped in 2008 for the Xbox 360, and it was supposed to be a genre-defining epic. Instead, it became famous for being a giant, expensive mess. So, what even was Too Human, and why did it cost so much to make? First off, Too Human was an action RPG, blending futuristic cybertech with Norse mythology. You played as Baldur, fighting robots and gods in a sprawling sci-fi world. Sounds awesome, right? It was ambitious. And that ambition is where things started to go sideways. Here's the thing, Too Human's development took nearly a decade. It was first announced way back in 1999 for the original PlayStation, then moved to GameCube, and finally landed on the Xbox 360. That's 3 different consoles. Every time the hardware changed, the developers at Silicon Knights had to basically start over. That's years of time, money, and effort just wiped out. But it wasn't just the shifting platforms that burned through the budget. The studio spent a ton on custom technology. At one point they tried to use Epic Games' Unreal Engine 3, but ran into massive legal trouble. Silicon Knights ended up suing Epic, claiming the engine wasn't finished. Epic countersued and won. The end result? Silicon Knights had to pay millions in damages and even destroy all unsold copies of Too Human. Imagine sinking years and millions into a game, only to have to pull it from shelves. Ouch! So, how expensive was Too Human? Estimates put the development cost at over $60 million, huge for the time. Most games back then didn't even come close. All that money went into building technology from scratch, switching hardware and legal battles. The stakes were sky high. When Too Human finally launched, it got mixed reviews. Some people loved the loot system, others hated the clunky controls. But for all the money and hype, it just didn't live up to expectations. Sales were disappointing, and Silicon Knights never really recovered. Too Human is a perfect example of how ambitious ideas, tech troubles, and legal fights can turn a dream project into a cautionary tale. It's not just one of the most expensive games ever, it's a reminder that in gaming, even the biggest budgets can't guarantee success. So next time you boot up a game, remember, behind every hit or flop, there's a story. And few are as wild or as costly as Too Human.